friends, welcome to Mary Molly's show. I'm Mary.
I'm Molly.
Yes, you do see still Christmas decor behind us. We still like to keep our Christmas tree up for at least another week or so. And we are so excited. Today we have an amazing story prepared, a true story. Molly, tell us about it.
Today's story is called How Terrence Got His Train. Terrence really wanted a train for a very, very long time. But he had a problem. He was not good in saving his money. So his dad gives him an option. And you have to watch to find out if he will ever get his train or not.
Friends, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so now and click that bell so you can receive immediate notifications every time we post a new video. Enjoy! For a very long time, it seemed years and years, Terrence had wanted an electric train. Whenever he saw one in a store, he would stare at it just as long as Mother would let him stand at the window. He thought that if only he could have an electric train, all his very own, he would be the happiest boy in the world. Over and over again, he had come to Daddy and said, "Please, Daddy, do get me an electric train for my birthday. Please, Daddy, do get me an electric train for Christmas." But every time, Daddy had replied, "Sorry, Terrence, but they're far too expensive. I just couldn't manage to buy you one. Really, I couldn't, much as I would like to." Then Terrence would go on hoping and hoping that someday, maybe, he would be able to buy one himself. The only trouble about that, however, was that Terrence never seemed to have any money. If he was given a quarter or a dime, he would spend it right away for some candy or some little thing he had seen in the store. And so, of course, he had nothing saved up for anything so expensive as an electric train. One day, he came home running from school greatly excited. Daddy, there's a boy at school who has an electric train. He wants to sell it. May I buy it?" "Surely you may, son, if you have enough money." You see, Daddy knew all about Terrence's weakness where money was concerned. In fact, he often said that Terrence had a hole in his pocket. "I don't have any money. At least, I don't have any except that dime you gave me the other day. I haven't spent that yet." "How much does the boy want for his train?" "Only $20. He says that it's very cheap because it includes all the couches and rails and things." $20? Maybe cheap, but that's a lot of money these days. I'm afraid your one little dime won't go very far." "I'm afraid it won't. Do you know how many dimes are in $20? "No, I never added them up." "Well, there are 200. That's a lot of dimes. But I thought maybe you want to buy the train, Daddy." "No, thanks. I really don't need any electric train just now. Thanks all the same." Terrence thought he would try another approach. "If I were to save up 200 dimes. You saved 200 dimes? Why, you never saved half a dozen." "But Daddy, I never wanted an electric train before. Not like this one." "Well, you have been talking about an electric train for a mighty long time. And you have saved only one dime. That doesn't look as though you wanted it very much." Terrence blushed a little at this, but he was really determined now. "Look here, Daddy. I'm going to save my money from now on. And when I have 200 dimes, I'll buy that train." I'm afraid it'll be rusty by the time you get it."
But I'll tell you what I'll do. When you have saved 10 dimes, if you ever do, I'll give you 10 more toward your train, and so on until you have enough.
Will you, Daddy? Now I can get my train.
I wouldn't be too sure about that.
Smiled Daddy, feeling that his contribution was pretty safe. After all, you do have quite a long way to go. By the way, how do you propose to earn so much money?
I'm going over right now to ask Mrs. Brown to let me mow her lawn every week. Then I'll ask Mr. Morgan about sweeping out the leaves in his garden. Then
Now you're talking some sense. That's fine. Maybe I can find a few jobs too for you, if you want them.
I do. Oh, Daddy, I can almost hear that train running around my bedroom now.
So Terrence started on his great new plan. Instead of wasting his spare minutes, he turned them into money, dime by dime. It was hard, of course, but then every good thing costs something. When his friends would come to ask him to play ball or go swimming, he would say, "Sorry, but I have a job to do." It was hard, dreadfully hard, to see them go off without him. But just as he felt tempted to throw up his work and follow them, he would think of his electric train and stay by his job. Yes, and he stopped spending his money on trifles too, such as cheap toys that get broken in a few minutes. Instead, he would take his precious dimes and put them in his bank. Of course, every time he had 10 extra ones in it, he would call on Daddy for his 10. Daddy began to get anxious. He seemed to be paying out 10 dimes every week or two. But somehow, he didn't mind too much, for he could see that Terrence was learning lessons of priceless value. Months passed by, and the precious bank became heavier and heavier. Then one day, the very day before Terrence's birthday, something tragic happened. Terrence came home from school broken-hearted. There were tears in his eyes and some on his cheeks, and a lot more on the dirty handkerchief in his pocket.
What's the matter?
The boy sold his train, and now I can't have one after all.
That's too bad. Too bad. But I tell you, Terrence, I was afraid of it all the time. You could hardly expect him to wait so long.
I know, but I thought he would. Fancy selling it just when I was ready to buy from him.
Well, now you'll be able to use your money for something else. There'll be lots of other things you'll want to buy later.
I don't want anything else but my train. It's a shame. He's mean for selling it.
Don't take it so hard. Let's go for a walk together and try to forget all about it.
A walk? I don't want to go for no walk. Besides, I'll never forget about it as long as I live.
Oh, just a little walk upstairs.
Upstairs? Why upstairs?
Oh, just for a little walk,
said Daddy, leading the way. Very much puzzled, Terrence followed Daddy upstairs. As he entered his bedroom, his tear-stained face suddenly lighted up with surprise and joy. There it was on the floor, the very electric train he had wanted so long and worked so hard to buy.
Why, it's my train! How did it get here?
Oh, it just came.
Go on, it couldn't have just come by itself.
I know. I bought it from that boy weeks ago. When I saw the way you were working for it, I thought it would be too bad to have him get tired of waiting for your money and sell it to somebody else. So here it is, and you deserve it.
I love to see a boy work hard and save hard as you have done. Hooray!
Yelled Terrence, jumping right over his bed.
Oh, say, Daddy, if you'd like to come and play with this train anytime, you may, you know?
Thanks.
And the two sat down on the floor together and turned on the switch. Thank you, friends, so much for spending this wonderful time with us. We hope you tune in next time for another amazing video. Friends, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so now and click that bell so you can receive immediate notifications every time we post a new video. We hope you enjoyed this story. It was a true story and it had a great valuable lesson with it and a very unexpected ending, which was fun. Yeah, and also this story was actually requested by a gentleman named Christopher. So Christopher, thank you so much for asking for the story. We hope you enjoyed it as we brought it to life. And friends, if you have any other stories that you would like us to read from Uncle Arthur's bedtime story, please comment below this video.
Yes.
And if you have any personal stories that you would like us to share, please send us an email at maryandmolly@gmail.com.
Yes, we would love to hear from you.
Yes. Goodbye!